I really think this is going to be a crazy offseason from a quarterback perspective.
Yep.
I mean, we already seen what happened with the Rams and Lions.
Yep.
Stafford going to L.A.
Yep. Little pricey for my liking.
Sure.
But the Rams are going to pick at the end of the first round anyway. Who really cares? If it works out, who cares?
And how about this? L.A. really don't give a fuck about draft picks.
At all.
In any sport.
Nope.
They want to get stars. I know Stafford is not Mahomes.
Yeah.
I don't think Stafford sucks at all.
No, Stafford does not suck.
Stafford is dope. He's just been with the Lions, who their claim to fame, their two best players ever, retired early.
Yeah.
Right? So I think Stafford, did they pay a lot for it? Sure, but that's their MO. I think McVay hasn't drafted someone in the first round. I think that's the stat that I saw.
They have not yet. They have not drafted.
They've traded it for Cooks. They traded it for Ramsey.
Well, they had to get rid of them to get Goff to start with.
Right.
He was there. Well, Fisher was there when Goff got drafted.
Right.
17, he came in, so they didn't have picks because Goff. They traded for Ramsey. They traded for Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
So I don't think they've picked the first round player.
I'm pretty sure that they
At
haven't. But regardless, they're a team who they don't really care about first round picks anyway.
Yeah.
So it was it pricey? Yeah, but I also think it's a great deal for them.
If it works out.
Sure.
Like,
now, what do we want it? What do we want to happen for it to work out?
It has to be a Super Bowl win because Goff got you to a Super Bowl. It has to be a Super Bowl win. Like you traded 6 first-round picks to get Goff. Mm-hmm. Well, 4 first-round picks to get Goff. Then you traded 2 to get rid of him. Mm-hmm. So like it has to be a Super Bowl win for it to work out because he already got you to the Super Bowl. So you can't go to the Super Bowl and lose and think you won the trade.
It's kind of similar to when Kirk Cousins became the quarterback for Case Keenum.
Yep.
Where everyone was
you got to get back to the NFC Championship game.
At the bare minimum for it to be a success. That's an interesting point, man. I haven't really heard that one yet.
It's not been a success. Minnesota's been a dumpster fire since Kirk Cousins has been there.
Yeah.
But you knew that because he was a dumpster fire in Washington. So
yeah. Well, if it's Super Bowl or bust for you and you're the Rams, then the expectations are going to be really high. But I feel as if Stafford's going to elevate them to new heights.
Who's he throwing to?
I love Robert Woods. Cooper
I
Kupp.
love him as a 2-3 guy, not the number 1 guy.
That's fair. Well, I think having the Rams are at their best when they have a running game.
Yeah, who's running the ball for them too?
Cam Akers.
I need more.
Sure, that's very fair. He only played like 3.5 games.
No, but I need more than him. Like I can't just have him and spurts of Malcolm Brown. I need like a runner. Like that offense has gone downhill since Gurley's been gone. So I need like a runner. Like in there.
You don't think Cam Akers could be that?
I don't think he's like your piece. I don't think he's your main piece in that offense. I think you need a runner, or you need multiple pieces like him. You need like Tevin Coleman's, like a bunch of those pieces, not just one Cam Akers and Malcolm Brown.
I don't know if I agree with that because they did feature him a lot in those games towards the tail end of the year.
Yeah, but who? I mean, they beat the Packers. Oh, they lost to the Packers.
Yeah, but they beat Seattle.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like we can talk. I don't know what happened in that game. That game was Russell Wilson was terrible for like the last 8 weeks of the season. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that Tyler Lockett got hurt.
Yeah,
and then that kind of
Yeah.
Against the Rams, ironically enough, there was like a play in the back of the end zone where he landed on his knee, and then from then on, I know my buddy Dom had him in fantasy.
Yeah.
And he was like sending us screenshots of like those wild, like Tyler Lockett was having games where he was like this, and then 40, and then it was 55.
Yeah.
And he was getting tight towards the tail end because DK Metcalf started taking over, but it was really they were at their best when they had Lockett and Metcalf. And I feel like with Lockett getting hurt, that sort of derailed the momentum that they had because, dude, Russ had like 25 touchdowns before anyone else had 18 touchdowns.
I also saw like this morning that like teams are calling the Seahawks for Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And like who leaked that report is my thing. Was it like Russell's team? Was that the Seahawks?
It's always someone that leaks it.
Yeah, but who did it and why did they do it? Like that's not like information they don't want out there.
You know,
it's the day after the Super Bowl. Like that's information they want out there. Like Russell probably wants out of Seattle, or the Seahawks want to move on from Russell Wilson. Not that they should, but like I know a team that has a number 2 overall pick that would take Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah,
in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a heartbeat.
You know what's funny? Sierra had signed with some like new record company that was based in New York, and that was like 2 years ago. There was a lot of Russell Wilson to the Giants momentum before Daniel Jones.
Plus the Browns, though, don't forget, like the Browns offered the first overall pick when they drafted Baker Mayfield to Seattle. They didn't take it.
Yeah.
So like he's always been in this on the trading block.
Interesting. Do you think? So I'm really fascinated by the Deshaun Watson story.
Okay.
And one of the main reasons why is because in the NBA you see it all the time, where a guy of his magnitude, like who would be the NBA player comp for Deshaun Watson?
It'd probably be.
Think of like a young guy who's had some playoff success, but the organization is clearly holding him back. Like I would say prior to this year, it'd be Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Would be that guy where like you look at Devin Booker, and I know he didn't have any playoff success with the Suns, but you'd be like, yo, this guy's dropping 28 a game. He's clearly the best player. No one is on the level of him, and they're only relevant and good because
it'd probably be Luka, honestly.
Luka's a good one.
He'd probably be the person I can think of is like you'd probably move the world to get him. He's not gonna do anything in Dallas. That place is not. It's not built for him.
Damn, yo, that's a really good one.
It's probably be him, but like, I don't know. That's the thing. Like,
so the reason why I bring that up is because I think Watson could be the first guy to pull an NBA superstar in the NFL. Be like, yo, look, I know I just signed this big contract.
Yeah,
I'm not playing here. Trade me.
I don't know if he can pull that though with the new CBA with like the mandatory fines and stuff. How much money is he willing to lose? Is a question. Like the teams have to find him. Before it was like teams have the choice to find you. Now they don't have a choice. So he's $50,000 a day if he doesn't show up. How much money is he willing to lose? Is he willing to sit out a season like Le'Veon Bell?
I think a quarterback could do that. I don't think a running back could do that. I mean, I'm talking about the sitting out a year.
I think running backs could do it. Like, why wouldn't you want to do it as a running back? Like, that's 300 less touches on your body. Like, yeah, Le'Veon's not as explosive, but he probably wasn't. He's probably on the tail end of that anyway.
Sure.
Like, his body is probably better off for sitting out a season than it was for taking 400 hits in that season. And it wasn't going to work on the Jets anyway. He came for the money. Let's be serious.
Yeah, he did.
Came for the money. Like, it was never. He knew the line wasn't good. He knew Sam Darnold was a rookie. It was never going to work. Yeah. Got his money, got out of town.
What would you say? Do you want Deshaun Watson on the Jets as a Jets fan? Are you? How about this? Are you? No, you're good. Are you off Darnold?
I am not. Let me tell you.
Because I'm not either.
I'll answer both questions. So this is not a like, is Sam Darnold better than Deshaun Watson? We know that answer. We know Deshaun's better. Deshaun's top 6 quarterback? I'm not buying the top 3, but top 6, 7 quarterback in the NFL. So like, obviously, he is better than Sam Darnold. But when you look at Sam Darnold coming out, he's still, 23 years old, 24?
I know he's younger than Joe Burrow.
Yes. He's had 3 offensive coordinators. This is going to be his 3rd head coach if he survives. This will be his 3rd head coach. His 4th season. He's been hurt. I can't tell you a receiver on the Jets, Jamison Crowder. Who else has been his receivers?
Which also, I'm in the camp of your best. We spent like 20 minutes one time, Alan and I. Your best wide receiver can't be your slot receiver.
Yes.
Your best wide receiver could line up in the slot.
Yeah.
But your primary guy needs to be an outside guy.
Unless you're New England and your system's built around Edelman and those type of dudes and Brady and timing and those kind of things.
Right.
And you have an offensive line to protect that kind of stuff.
Right.
Like, usually these young quarterbacks come in, they have one or the other. It's like, okay, your line's not good. Your receivers aren't good. He's had both. Like, look at the quarterbacks drafted, like Kyler Murray. Look what they did. They went and got Kenyon Drake. He has DeAndre Hopkins. They drafted some linemen. Lamar Jackson. They've drafted tight ends, linemen, running backs.
Even I mean, I'm not a
Hollywood Brown first round.
That's a first round pick. Yeah.
Who else you think about? Like,
well, we talked about Josh Allen before.
Josh Allen. Look, they moved the world to build around him. What has the Jets done for Sam Darnold? Name me an offensive player they've drafted since he's been there. That's been like Denzel Mims. Yeah, he's gonna be somewhat decent.
Yeah, but he also missed a half the year, pretty much.
Mekhi Becton, you drafted left tackle 2 years late. Okay, he's going to be a decent piece if he stays in shape. Adam Gase, you hired, like, it's been the worst 3 year, like, it's worse than the Josh Rosen thing. Like, it's been the worst 3 years for a quarterback organizationally Sam Darnold's had to deal with. And you've never heard him complain one time. I think the kid has the talent to do it. He just needs some support.
He's the ultimate buy low guy right now.
Yeah.
Because I think if he goes to, I've been sort of, to use the wrestling term, fantasy booking him going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, if he goes to Pittsburgh.
And he could sit behind Ben for a year. Or if Ben... No, you think right away?
He's better than Ben at this point right now.
Oh, that's a take.
Yeah, but look what Ben's working with. Ben has All-Pro on the front of the line. He has... Look if Sam ended up... What if Sam would have got drafted by Cleveland instead of Baker? If he was throwing to Jarvis and Odell with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
And that offensive line.
And Njoku, Hooper, the O-line. Like, they probably would be closer to... Like, if he got drafted by Buffalo or, like, those type of teams. It's just like... He has the talent to do it. It's like we haven't gotten a fair shot to see if he can do it. So... But like I said, if you get... Back to the Deshaun Watson thing. If you get the chance to get him, yes. But, like, at what cost? Like, 4 first-round picks, there's no chance. I'm not. Because what's going to be the difference if you swap Sam and Deshaun Watson? You put Deshaun in New York. You trade away 4 first-round picks. What's the difference there? You think he can elevate Crowder or Herndon or LaMichael Pirine to the playoffs?
No, that's a good point. That's why I think the ideal scenario for Deshaun Watson would probably be Miami. Miami has the best potential trade package for Deshaun Watson that's not going to jeopardize their future. Where the Jets would have to jeopardize their future.
Yes, in terms of like the Jets are also not a quarterback away from winning. So like the Jets need corners. The Jets have the worst linebacking core like in the history of football. Like no joke. No joke. I've said this on Twitter. Like they have the worst linebacking core in the history of football. You need linebackers. You need D linemen. You need receivers. Like if they're like San Francisco, who's probably a quarterback away, or I don't know if Miami's quarterback. I think Miami probably needs more weapons too. But teams like that should trade for Deshaun Watson. So,
what would you be willing to give up for Watson?
I would give up
as a Jets fan.
As a Jets fan, I would give up 2 1s. I'd probably give up 2 2s.
So this is where I disagree with you.
Yeah.
Because if Jamal Adams goes for 2 1s, you're telling me that you wouldn't give up 4 1s for Watson?
It's not about worth. That's nothing to do with me. Like we're shipping Jamal out. Like we didn't give anything up for Jamal. Like that has nothing to do with us giving that away. Like we gave Jamal for 2 1s to build the team, and now we're giving those 2 away plus 2 more to bring in a quarterback when we're like so far away. If you wrote down all the issues with the Jets, quarterback is not the number one issue.
That's a very good point.
Like you go down through, I think cornerback's the number one issue. You go linebacker, offensive line, receiver, tight end, running back. Like Frank Gore had like 5 games with like 25 carries. Like there's no chance you're winning. And respect to Frank Gore, but there's no chance you're winning any games. Like I think I almost killed myself. I think the Jets threw a wheel route to Frank Gore. I don't know what game it was, but it was like the Raiders game was like the closest game we were going to win. 3rd down, they threw a wheel route to Frank Gore, and I'm just like, there's like the D lineman I think just peeled off and ran to the sideline. I was like, we need help. So I'm willing to give up 2 1s, 2 2s, and that's if they don't trade Darnold in that trade. You know what I mean? So that way we can flip him for something else. Because I don't want to trade Darnold in those packages. So, like, I want to be able to flip Darnold someplace else. Because Houston's going to want something back. So, but, yeah, we also have the number 2 pick. So, like, our picks are more valuable than, like, let's say, I don't know what team in the San Francisco.
Another reason why I mentioned Miami is because they have the Houston pick.
Yeah, to get that back.
So, yeah, it's interesting, man. And then you look at that division after that. If Watson goes into that division, it becomes a Dolphin, or the other way around. Like if he becomes a Jet, if you're in the rest like New England, there it's probably like, yo, what the hell? We're in trouble.
Who are they gonna have play quarterback? Don't tell me Jared Stidham because the dude is terrible. So
no. But I'm hearing a lot of Mac Jones, the Saban Belichick ties. He really likes him.
Is Mac Jones NFL ready?
Probably not.
Yeah. Don't think so either.
I'd say definitely not. Yeah, he's a guy who, if he goes in the 1st or 2nd round, I think that's too high for him.
You got to do those tails. You got to go back. Like Mark Sanchez, Mitchell Trubisky. You got to watch out for those 1 year, 15 game, 16 game starts.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks, like not because like they're not good, but it's like they're going to come in the NFL and like I've never seen any of that.
Yeah.
So even like Patrick Mahomes, they talk about how he played at Texas Tech. Like, yeah, not a good school for football, but he played 50 games. Like, he's seen it all. Like, probably don't. I don't know if any of the dudes he played with are in the NFL right now. So, Mac Jones is playing 16 games with everybody he's playing with is going to be in the NFL.
Yo, that's my biggest gripe with quarterbacks from big time programs. Yo, give me a kid from North Carolina State over a kid from Bama at quarterback. If he could get like North Carolina State to like a New Year's Day bowl, and I know they don't really mean as much as they used to, but I always talk about how what you said. Mac Jones is playing with Devontae Smith, Waddle, the running back. It's like, yo, all
had
these
Ruggs last year, Judy,
and then you look at the offensive linemen. How many of them are going to be day 1 or 2 picks? So you have all this talent around you, and we didn't even mention the defense has 7 guys going in the first round every year. That was the big issue that I had with Joe Burrow, but I'm taking the L on that. Where Joe Burrow had such an outstanding year at LSU, and all those guys are going into the league. We see what Justin Jefferson did this year was fucking ridiculous.
I would say those guys weren't them before Burrow, though. Like, I don't know who Justin Jefferson was before Burrow or Jamar Chase. I didn't hear those.
So dudes. It was a collection of everyone that elevated themselves.
But he was more of the catalyst.
Right.
Like, you look at Tua and Mac Jones, like, or even Jalen Hurts, like, all those receivers were good, regardless of who stepped in to play quarterback. If you look at Tua now, not the biggest fan of Tua. I like Tua, but, like, Tua's struggling now just because, like, he's reading defenses and, like, Ruggs is not open. Judy's not open. Like, Tua holds the ball. If you ever see, like, a Miami game, it's just, like, which is why Brian Flores always like yanking him up because Fitzpatrick's not going to hold the ball. So it's like you got to let, like, if you ever saw like a clip of like Fitzpatrick on the sideline, he's like, you got to give your receivers a chance. Like, they're not always just going to be open. It's not going to be this big one. You got to
you got to throw them open.
You got to throw them open, but give them a chance. And like Tua's struggling because like Alabama, like I'm sitting back there, and like Ruggs is running past everybody or Judy. So I don't know if Mac Jones is ready for the NFL, but that's for Bill Belichick to decide. So. I don't think he's ever drafted a quarterback in the first round either. So, like, ever. I don't think so.
What about drafting a wide receiver that's good in the first round? Or second round?
N'Keal Harry's not good? Or?
Nah. Come on now. Come on now.
I mean, drafting people who are good.
He can't draft receivers.
I don't
How
think
weird is that?
Belichick can really draft anyone, if we're being serious. I mean, can you think of a draft pick that's like, he got a couple of those linebackers. Don't get me wrong. You got the high towers. You got the Brandon Spikes, those kind of things. But in terms of just like offensively, you drafted Sony Michel in the first round. That's not working. Who else you got? I guess they drafted whoever your left tackle is now. What's the choice? No. What happened to Nate Solder?
Nate Solder?
Yeah.
He opted out this year.
So he was like their last also first round pick. But like.
Well, I think he was. Like, he drafted Gronk.
He wasn't a first-round pick, though.
That's true,
so, and neither was Aaron Hernandez. You know what I mean? Like, which, I mean, like I said, that balances out. Like, he's getting good gems outside of round 1.
To make up for.
But they're not drafting. Like, I can't tell you a first-round pick in New England that's been good. Like, I can't even go back and be like, oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to think, too.
Hightower's, like, the only one I can think of. Is the last one that I can think of.
Pretty much. Like, Isaiah Wynn was a first-round pick, but he tore his Achilles
like
right
twice.
Off the bat, and then he got hurt again. Yeah, it's weird.
I can't think of a first-round pick, so...
I would give up pretty much anything to get Watson.
For your Giants.
Oh, for the Giants, I'd give up the rights to my first child. I'd give up the parking spot.
Yes, but what good is that going to do? Like, who is Daniel Jones thrown to right now? Don't get me wrong, Daniel Jones sucks. But who is he? What's his surrounding cast right now? Golden Tate? That's his.
You want to hear a terrible take I used to have over the summer?
Yeah.
Oh, this is bad. I said that if you look at the skill position players the Giants have, running back, tight end, and wide receivers, 3 wide receivers, you couldn't find a better skill position unit in football.
Is that before Odell left, or is that after?
This is like this summer.
So who are you talking about, like Slayton?
I'm talking about like Slayton, Tate, Shepard, Ingram, Barkley.
Oh boy, they might all not be on the team next year. Like Ingram can't catch.
Ingram is
the fastest dude in the world and can't catch.
Yo, Ingram's going to want to get paid this year, and they're going to say that he's a Pro Bowl tight end. Yeah. I'm going to whip up like a 17-minute video of him costing them games.
Of dropping every ball.